Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Rewind that. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Alright guys, today we are going to be going over the latest episode of BMF Season 1, episode number 7, called All in the Family. And yes, many of us, a whole lot of us, have seen the leaked episode, but I just wanted to wait to go over the episode just to be on track with it, alright? Alright guys, so the episode starts off with Terry and Meech running through the hospital looking for their sister, right? And I believe this might be the first episode besides episode 1 that didn't start off with a flashback. Anyway, they find Nicole and of course she's distraught and she tells her brothers what happened and who it was who came after her. She also gets upset with Meech and tells him that Darius is dead all because of him. Then, right on time, detectives Bryant and Lopez show up and they tell Nicole that they need her to come down to the station for questioning. So, of course, Meech tries to refuse them at first, but eventually he had to let Nicole go. So, he gave her a hug and said, "You know what to do." So, once Nicole is gone, Meech says to Terry, "What if she tells them about Lamar or about our business?" And Terry was like, "Our sister almost got snatched, and this is what you thinking about?" And he walks off on him. And I absolutely agree with Terry on this one, okay? Next, Charles and Lucille get down to the station with Nicole, and when she asks her parents what she should tell the police, Charles says, "Tell the truth at all times." So Nicole says, "What about Meech and Terry? What if they get in trouble?" And Charles is like, "Don't you dare try to defend them, right?" So Lucille says, "It's not like that. What if she tells the truth and they come after her or us?" So of course Charles is like, "Oh, so we just supposed to teach our child how to lie now, right?" So then Detective Lopez comes into the room with the commander because the commander left Detective Bryant out of it. Because obviously she doesn't trust him. And we know why already, right, guys? Lopez then got into her ear already. Anyway, they questioned Nicole, and even after her father told her to tell the truth, Lil Mama held it down for her brothers, okay? And she didn't say nothing. She just said that some guy walked up on Darius and started stabbing him, and she doesn't know why. So Detective Lopez mentions that they have sources that say that Meech kidnapped a rival gang member's daughter. And when he said that, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What sources? Because Mo ain't called the cops, and Zoe didn't even realize she was kidnapped. So now I gotta wonder if there's an informant from the 50 Boys or 12th Street, because this is definitely inside information. Nobody knew about Zoe being kidnapped aside from those crews, right? 50 Boys and 12th Street and Mo, of course. So this is definitely something to think about, guys. Next, Meech is ready to move full speed ahead with the business, but Terry is still troubled over what happened to Nicole and how Darius was murdered in front of her. And it seems to me like Meech is just so cavalier about the situation, and he's just like, "We're going to pay for the funeral like he was one of us. Now let's just get back to business. So at least it's nice to see that somebody has a conscience, and a heart. Like, sheesh. Anyway, next, Charles is at home packing up to leave town, and Lucille was like, "I'm not leaving my house." And Charles says, "You don't have a choice because you and Nicole are not safe here anymore." And Lucille says, "What about Meech and Terry?" And Charles was ready to lose it on her at this point, okay? He's like, "Them boys kidnapped a girl and now they got us in the crosshairs." But Lucille is determined, guys, to save one of her sons if she can't save both of them, okay? And she tells Charles that they can still save Terry because she knows that they got through to him, right? But Charles was like, "You can stay and get yourself killed if you want, but I'm taking my daughter with me, okay?" And he left her there. And guys, like I always say, this is just a sad, stressful, and worrisome situation for them both to be in, and I feel for them, but especially Lucille, because she's taking it way harder. It just seems like she cries every day. She's worried every day. She has a shaky voice. I mean, the actress that plays Lucille, she does a very good job at being a mother that seems to be just bogged down with stress and like fear over what might happen to her kids. All right. Anyway, next, Lamar is listening to Teddy Pendergrass, and he's in psych mode, guys. Okay. He's burning paper. He's staring blankly. All right. So we also see that he has a whole lot of guns, and he starts packing them into a bag along with some rope and tape. So clearly, he plans on kidnapping somebody that is close to Meech and Terry. So as he goes outside, Tiny and his boys creep through, ready to pull off the drive-by. And Tiny starts shooting at Lamar, but Lamar was able to escape into the house. And I was like, really? Even when Tiny and his man got into the house to look for him, they couldn't find him, but they knew he was hit because they saw the blood, right? But they had to get out of there because they heard sirens coming. So next, Tiny meets up with Meech, and Meech is pissed because they missed Lamar. And Tiny was like, you act like we wanted him to get away. Plus, you ain't got nothing to worry about because he don't know it was you. He saw me, my face. So I know he coming back. So Meech was like, I think I know where he went, so page me if you get something. Next, Lamar breaks into Moe's house, and when she gets home and finds him in her bathroom, all wounded and bloody, she was like, what the heck, you know? So Lamar tells her that he got shot and just needs a place to fix himself up. But she wasn't having that, of course. Like, this is a crazy man in her house. Like, what is going on here? So I didn't blame her for her reaction at all, but I do think that she went about it the wrong way. So I'm going to get to that in a minute, right? So she tells Lamar that he needs to leave now or she's going to call the cops. So Lamar grabs her hand and tells her not to do anything stupid. And Mo says, get off me, and she hits him in his arm, the one he got shot in, mind you. Okay, so Lamar backhanded her and punched her to the floor. Then he starts pulling her hair and yelling at her, saying, every time I got stuff under control, you want to mess it up and everything. Like, why, Monique, why? You know, just crazy, right? And that's when Zoe comes in and she sees what her father is doing to her mom. And when she says, Dad, he stops and he lets Mo drop to the floor. And that's when Zoe comforts her mother, okay? And after this, I'm just hoping that Lamar doesn't make it to the next season, okay? Because he is out of control, all right? But back to what I was saying about Mo. I don't think it was smart for her to tell Lamar what she was going to do. Like, I say this all the time. Every time there is a person who is unstable or, you know, mentally unstable, you know that they're crazy, you don't know what the heck they're going to do, they're unpredictable, you know they're dangerous, all of the above, you don't tell them your plans. You act like everything is cool and you go along with stuff and you make your plan of escape. Like, she could have acted like everything was cool and went right in there and called the cops. She didn't have to do it right away if she didn't want to now, but she just could have played it way smarter than that. You know, just made Lamar feel like she was on his side. But I get it. She wanted this crazy man out of her house, but still, honey, that was not the way to do it, all right? But anyway, guys, next, Lucille goes to ask Karen if she could reconsider taking on T's case. But of course, she had to apologize for her husband's actions first, right? So Karen tells Lucille that she will take the case again, but it might be an uphill battle because the nurse who was present during the surgery, she might be able to say that there was a mistake made, but the problem is that the nurse quit, so they can't find her, all right? So obviously, the next task is find her, right? And then they should be able to build a strong case. Next, Mo called Meech over and let him know what happened, okay? She made sure to tell him that she doesn't forgive him for taking Zoe, but at this point, she's ready for Lamar to be dealt with. So she tells Meech where Lamar's cousin Ramon lives, because that would be the only place Lamar would go. Next, Meech goes to meet up with B. Mickey and tells him that Monique gave him an address for Lamar. And of course, guys, Mickey's trigger finger happy behind was ready to get to work instantly, okay? But Meech tells him that he has to dead things with Kato first. So Mickey, of course, he tried to deny it at first, but Meech was like, look, man, you caught T already saw her jacket at your house, right? And that's when Mickey says, yo, this chick is special. So Meech says, all that don't matter because rules are rules. Dead it right here and right now. Next, T meets up with Big L to ask for an extension because the crew needs to lay low for a little while since cops are picking up folks left and right. But Big L tells him that she's not giving him the extension. She tells him that she values the commitment he made to her and that he has work to do. Next, Meech and B. Mick go to where Lamar's cousin Ramon stays. And they find out that Ramon moved out a week ago and Lamar ain't been seen since Ramon was there. And a little kid was the one that was telling him this information. And B. Mick almost shot the freaking kid, guys, okay? He just couldn't wait to see who was there. He just heard movement or saw a shadow or something and was ready to get to busting off shots, okay? And thank God that Meech was there, who like told him to wait and stopped him. I think he made him like miss aim or something like that. But anyway, so Meech gives the kid a roll of cash to keep his mouth shut. Next, the Flannerys go to Darius's funeral and T shows up to pay his respects. We also see that Pastor Swift looked like he had a little attitude with Lucille, because when she said, "Praise the Lord, Pastor Swift," he just said, "Yes, Lord," and kept it moving. And normally he stops and talks, or at least has more to say than that, right? Probably talk about her cooking or something like, "Oh, I need some more of that sweet potato pie," whatever, type of stuff he be saying, right? But it wasn't like that this time. So it's either he's mad at all the Flannerys because he feels T and Meech are to blame for Darius's murder, or he's mad at Charles for disrespecting his niece. Or it could just simply be that they're at a funeral, it's a sad time and it's just not time for all of that right now. And plus he might not want Darius's mother to see him chopping it up with the Flannerys. I don't know. What do you guys think? Point is, I noticed a change in Pastor Swift as far as he relates to Lucille, at least. Anyway, but I know his sermon during the funeral was pretty good too, guys, okay? So as everyone is leaving the church, Lucille tries to say a few kind words to Darius's mom, but she wasn't trying to hear it. She's like, "Oh, can I please speak to Nicole?" And then she starts coming at Nicole like, "The police told me that you're not telling the truth about what happened to Darius. You need to tell the truth. You're lying," and all this stuff, right? And then she turns her wrath on Lucille and tells her that she comes to church acting all high and mighty, pretending to be a good Christian woman, knowing daggone well that her sons are drug dealers. She says, "You should be ashamed to show your face at church." And I was like, wow, that is mean. All right. But it goes further, guys, because then she mentioned how Meech and Terry paid for Darius's funeral like she's supposed to thank them, right? And her final blow, guys, was when she tells Lucille that her son should be the one that's dead, not hers. And I was like, wow, that was a hard scene to watch, guys, because there's only so much you could say about it. The woman is hurting and she's angry that she lost her child, an innocent child, an innocent boy, but I still don't think that she should have come at Lucille like that. Her son sell drugs, but that has nothing to do with her coming to church and her relationship with the Lord. That's where she needs to be more often now. She got to keep getting them prayers up, honey. Okay. Anyway, next, Detective Bryant and Lopez are sitting in a car on a rainy day, a very rainy day, guys. And Detective Lopez sees the 50 boys pass by, and he was just like, wow, they don't stop, huh? He was itching for some action, though, okay? So Bryant was like, "We already bust their heads yesterday. Today's a new day, plus we in their hood. This is where they stay at." But Lopez wasn't trying to hear it. So he gets out of the car and went after the 50 boys. And Meech just happened to be with them as well. So Lopez starts chasing them all, and everybody gets away except for Meech, all right? Lopez was able to catch him and pin him down to the ground. And out comes Kato with some type of metal bar, and she cracks Lopez over the head with it, and her and Meech flee the scene. But before Kato runs off, she drops the freaking metal bar, guys. And I was like, girl, if they freaking go back and collect that thing, it's going to be a problem, right? Anyway, Detective Bryant rushes to find Lopez laid out and he calls it in. He tells dispatch that they got an officer down and they need medics. Next, the Flannerys have dinner and T and LaWanda are there as well. So while LaWanda gets up to go to the bathroom, Terry tells Nicole that what happened to Darius should have never happened and that Darius's mom was right about it being his fault. T tells Nicole that he's sorry and kisses her on the forehead. Then Nicole tells him that it's not his fault and she loves him. So meanwhile, Lucille catches Wanda coming out of the bathroom and says, "You lied to us, LaWanda, about Terry selling drugs with his brother." So LaWanda says, "No, you need to talk to Terry." And Lucille says, "No, I'm talking to you." Then she tells Wanda that she's enabling Terry and she needs to stop because the way Terry is going, he's going to end up dead or in jail, which is true, right? So when Wanda tries to get a little word in, like, "But Miss Flannery," or whatever, Lucille says, "Don't fight me on this." And Wanda starts crying and she says, "I'm not." They hug or whatever, right? But the only thing that I don't like about this scene, guys, was that Lucille was trying to blame Wanda for something Terry already told Wanda he loves to do. You know, in the hospital when she was trying to get him to give that life up, he was telling her, no, like, I love the game. You know, this is what I want to do. So it's like Lucille is still trying to find excuses for Terry and looking for ways to make him seem like he's innocent, you know, like he's been influenced or dragged into stuff. You know, it's like, lady, it's over. Your son is not innocent. Your sweet baby boy, Terry, is a drug dealer, okay? And you cannot blame anyone but him because he's made a choice, you know, 100 times over, even in the face of death. And even when his stomach couldn't handle what comes with the game, he kept going back to it, okay? But anyway, like I said, I just didn't like that whole thing that Miss Flannery was doing. And plus, she looked like she wanted to hit LaWanda for a second when Wanda was trying to speak. And you know, it's like, you gonna get mad. You mad at her like that? Like, are you really trying to turn this thing on her, talking about, no, you did what was convenient for you. Don't try to push this thing on her. Don't do that. That was a little annoying. You know, the mom, she don't really get under my skin that much, but for some reason when it comes to Terry and her being in denial, that's when she really be pissing me off, okay? And now she want to try to go ahead and blame Wanda. Come on, stop. Wanda was just trying to cover for her man, but she ain't no Tasha St. Patrick, okay? She not out here pushing and advocating for her man to be Detroit's biggest drug dealer, okay? Stop. Anywho, next, Kato goes to Mickey's house to hide out because she's scared that she might have killed the detective. So B. Mickey tells her to calm down. It's going to be all right. Then, of course, they get it on, guys. So later on, B. Mickey wants to roll up, but there's no more papers. So he gets up to go to the store. But before he leaves, Kato tells him that she wants to talk to him about something when he gets back, right? Next, a doctor comes out to tell the commander and Detective Bryant that Lopez didn't make it after suffering a massive brain hemorrhage. So Bryant starts to leave, and Commander tells him that Lopez told her about seeing him with Demetrius Flannery, and it made him become suspicious, okay? Basically, that he was hiding something. So Bryant was like, my partner just died, so either charge me or get out my face. Then Commander tells him that if she finds out that he's dirty and had anything to do with Lopez's murder, he's going to wish he was the one that died. And Bryant got in her face and was like, screw you. And he left. And I was glad that he responded that way because she was irking me. Like, her presence has always irked me. Next, Kato is waiting for Mickey to get back from the store, but she's surprised by Lamar instead, okay? He done found his way in Mickey's house. So Kato was like, you can't be here because B will be back any second. And Lamar was like, that's okay. I need some target practice. So Kato was like, you trying to get my cover blown? And that's when Lamar says, okay, since I see you care about him, I'll spare him if you kill Meech. And Kato says, how am I supposed to do that? And Lamar says, I don't know, but I caught a body for you and ate the charge. So if you want to make it straight, then this is how. So Kato tells him that she'll do whatever he needs her to do. But of course, you know, she doesn't mean this, guys. She's just trying to buy some time and get this guy out of there before B. Mickey gets back. So Lamar tells Kato that while she handles Meech, he's going after T. He also warns her that if she screws this up, he will kill her. Meanwhile, B. Mickey is parked outside of his house and he sees Lamar leave. And he's like, what the heck? You know, because of course, this is surprising to him, right? And the first thing he does is reach for his gun, but he don't have it because he left it inside. So he crouches down so Lamar doesn't see him. All right. Now, then he goes inside to confront Kato as to why Lamar just left his house. And he demands the truth while he got the gun raised to her head. And she tells him the truth. She tells him everything. You know, Lamar and my dad used to run together. He took a charge for me, yada, yada, yada. I've been working for Lamar. And so B was like, oh, now everything makes sense. The stash house, the food truck, you know, the letter, everything. And so, of course, he's upset and he's like, so you've been playing me this whole time, this and that. And she's like, no, I wasn't. And he's like, don't lie to me. And she said, well, at first I was, but no, not anymore. I wouldn't do that to you. I love you. And, you know, once she started talking about that, oh, I love you stuff, that started to melt him down. Okay, honey, like he was like, shut up, you know, trying to make her stop talking because she was pulling at them heartstrings, okay? And so he was like, well, I got to tell Meech. And she said, no, he'll never believe me. Just help me kill Lamar. Just me and you, baby, me and you, and all of this stuff. But, I was like, oh my gosh. As much as I told you guys I don't like them together, I don't like how Kato was getting down, and I don't trust B. Mickey. And I just hope he proves me wrong, honestly. But the way he get down sometimes, it still annoys me. But I hope that he proves to be loyal, as a lot of people think he is. And as far as Kato goes, I do believe that she's starting to view the 50 boys as her family. I do believe that. So, I could see myself liking her faster than I like B. Mickey. All right. But if she is going to try to be in cahoots with B. Mickey and, doing some stuff behind Meech's back, then I'm not going to like that. But anyway, before we move on, guys, like I was saying, I don't really care for them together, but I love to see a man love a woman like that. He was seeming like he was ready to, push her wig back like he said or whatever, right? But he couldn't do it, guys. That just goes to show he does love her, because she said it too. She said, you love me and I love you. And now it's just that. But anyway, love is love, guys, and love is beautiful, even when it's coming from two people that I ain't feeling at the moment, okay? Now let's move on to the next scene where Wanda gives T an ultimatum. She says, you either choose me and Terry Jr. or Meech, but you can't have both. And he's like, yo, I got so much money tied up into the streets right now. I can't walk away. And she's like, I don't care about money. I just care about our future and all of this stuff. You need to make a choice. So I don't know how long he's going to be able to be with this girl, you know? And I don't think she's a bad girl. But I feel like if she puts a pressure on him like that to leave the streets, I think eventually he probably will leave her alone. But, it is what it is. That'd be messed up. But hey, maybe better for her in the long run. Next, we get to the last scene where Detective Bryant meets up with Meech, and he tells him that he needs to know who killed his partner. And Meech is like, I can't help you. I don't know, right? So, Brian, he starts talking tough to Meech and everything. After he knows that Meech ain't the one that killed him, because he said Meech ain't that stupid. But he lets Meech know that he's the one with the power that could end him right here and right now. And Meech is like, I got stuff on you too. And that's when Brian gets up in his face and he's like, so what make you think you're going to have the chance to use it? But the bottom line is Meech says he doesn't know anything. And after that, Brian says, give your mom my condolences. And he leaves. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck is that supposed to mean? Okay, you giving threats out here? So I'm not sure what that was all about, why he would say that, but that definitely sounded like a threat, guys. But that was how the episode ended. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.